本気でも不器用ぶつかり合う心それでも見たいよ大きな夢はここにあるよ始まったばかり楽しいだけじゃない試されるだろうだってその苦しさも未来集まったら強い自分になってくよ変わり続けてそれぞれが好きなことで頑張れるなら新しいゴールでねそれぞれの好きなことを信じていればときめきを進めるだろう怖がる癖は捨てちゃえとりきりの笑顔で飛んで飛んで高く僕らは今の中で輝きを待ってた
Hello, everyone, and welcome to not the normal show that's on this feed. This is where the anime podcasts go, our regular anime podcast, The Great Gundam Project. This isn't that. There's no Gundam because this is a very special Patreon episode.
We should give this a name, like the one anime podcast on the internet.
The only anime podcast online.
Yes. Yep.
But no, I am Jackson. I'm John M. And we're here to talk about
Hello.
anime. Hello. And the reason this exists is because if you go to patreon.com/abnormalmapping and donate at the $20 here, you are able to tell us what to do for an episode. And we are joined by someone who did just that. Say hello, Andy.
Hi. I'm Andy.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I don't know how to podcast,
That's fine.
but I'm here.
That's good. No, you sent me a message and was like, no, actually, I want to get into the backstory for this.
Okay, sure.
You sent me a message with a choice that like we couldn't decide on for about 6 messages going back and forth between Love Live and Revolutionary Girl Utena, but the movie of it, so Adolescence of Utena, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yes.
Adolescence Apocalypse.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
And I forget. I think I was actually on Skype with you, and you like groaned at the idea of doing Utena in 2018.
I think I sighed a long time and then said we should do Love Live. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. And so we decided to watch the first season of Love Live. We haven't seen season 2. We might just see that in our spare time. But if there's anything,
Don't talk out of turn, Jackson. You don't know how I feel about this podcast or this anime.
I didn't say anything. I just said that we might.
Okay.
We could do any. I could do. Shut up. It's fine. I said something fine. I'm hosting the podcast, and you're like, I'm going to throw you off, and it worked. And no, not allowed.
Fair enough.
So yeah, we're going to talk about Love Live and what we thought about it. Andy is very excited to hear our takes and our feelings because I know Andy enjoys Love Live a lot.
Dying to know Jackson's idea of best girl.
Okay, it's not really going to surprise anyone. I don't know. I don't have a strong.
Before we get best girl has to wait till the end. Absolutely, I refuse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So, bit of background before we get into this. Love Live School Idol Project was developed by Dengeki G's magazine, the music label Lantis, and animation studio Sunrise. It is a multimedia project. It has a gacha game and some other games and a magazine thing and CDs and videos, manga adaptations, this anime that we watched. There's a lot of Love Live out there in the world.
Yes, there is.
Mm-hmm.
They are not done. There's like a movie that Sunshine's getting its movie soon.
The project we're seeing, these girls, started in 2010 and ended in, I think, 2016.
Yeah, that was when the Sunshine stuff started, right? I think.
Yeah.
No, Sunshine launched in 2015, but then all these voice actors did one last final live, I think is what it was called, and then basically retired these characters.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Yep.
And we watched the first 13 episodes of the anime for this first series. This was like, I think it aired in 2013.
Yep.
And it is the cheapest show ever made.
It's
So
yes.
value engineered.
Andy, you wanted to know what our assumptions were this was going to be going in, and I went into this assuming it was going to be Love or K-On! But shit. And the actual truth is that it's K-On! But like for everyone, and sometimes that's unfortunate, and sometimes it's fine. But
I had the exact same expectation. We've both watched and loved K-On!, so like, it was entirely shaped by that. Like, yeah, I was like, is this going to be K-On!? And the answer is yes, it is, but not as good, but also more broad.
But like, yeah, clearly like the 4-quadrant version of K-On!
I'm glad that we're going into this not having to revisit the debate over whether K-On! Is an all-time classic.
I mean,
because it just
it
is.
absolutely is.
And also, we haven't seen season 2 yet, so don't say anything about season 2 of K-On!
Yeah, don't.
Okay.
I watched season 1 of K-On! And then deliberately didn't watch season 2 because I'm still saving it. That show's so good.
Yeah, I haven't gotten through season 2 yet either. But season 1 of K-On! It's obviously hugely influential. It's just great TV.
Yeah, for sure. And so
back to Idols.
Back to Idols, yes. So because we're watching 13 episodes of anime, we're not breaking it down by episode. It's just going to be a loose discussion about the show. You've got like a light summary of the season, right? For us to...
Yeah, I mean, this is basically what you could get off of Wikipedia, but the main girl, Honoka, attends Otono Kizaka Academy. The school is being closed because they don't have enough applicants coming in every year because Japan is Japan and no babies are being born, basically. And they're like, oh, we need to save our school. And Honoka is like, what if I created an idol group because school idols are popular and that would help advertise the school. And this first season is about her gathering the people to apply to become a club and then being a club and then trying to perform enough to save the school, which of course they do over the course of this season. But then that happens like 2/3 of the way in and they all have to decide what they do after they've saved the school now that they're all an idol group and kind of still enjoy doing that. Is I would say the main drama of this first season, because saving the school was always a granted, that's just what these stories are.
Yes.
Yeah.
The school wasn't going to close down.
Yep.
But yeah, that
just wait for the show where they have a plot like this and then the school actually closes down. That's going to be great.
That would be great. I would love that.
The 80s movie that ends with them just watching as the youth center gets shut down.
Yes.
I
Last
guess
shot is the bulldozing the building.
yeah, as they're like sitting on in the park smoking weed and going like, actually, this is way better.
And then it does the like undertext of where everyone ended up, and everyone ends up in a very different, sad place.
Yeah. That doesn't happen in Love Live. This is the most by the numbers show that has ever been made.
Jackson, one of them is rich and they have a beach house, so they all get to go to the beach house for the weekend and swim and sleep together and practice, and it's goofy and it's just in every one of these
don't
shows.
think I've seen a single one of these shows where that hasn't been true.
Yeah.
It's all of them.
I mean, imagine being the kind of loser without a friend who doesn't have like a $10 million mansion. Yeah. Like, you know anyone like that?
No.
I'm always going to my friend's beach house.
Yep. I have not gone swimming in probably 15 years, to be perfectly honest.
No, I went swimming for the first time like 2 years ago, and then have not gone since.
Yep.
And so I guess we need to get into what we thought of the show. So what did we think? And what did you think of the show? Just go basic takes here.
So I thought this show was actually really good and surprised me a lot with what it was about.
Yep.
I mean, I guess I was kind of just expecting the show I got, but the amount that I am emotionally invested in it, most of these characters, is surprising to me. I wasn't expecting it. I thought I would just be immune to the fucking Moe girls, but no, I am definitely not immune to the Moe girls. I will say that to my eternal frustration, every single musical sequence is full of PS3-looking, cel-shaded dancing figures, and I hate it. It's the thing I will complain about most of this show. I know that it's very expensive to animate 9 girls dancing, and that's why they didn't do it, but man, I wish they had done that.
That gets better.
I mean,
that gets better.
Even over the course of the season, it gets better.
And then the OVA like gets better than that, but it's still like
It's rough.
It's rough, and also like there's a line which I assume they won't ever cross of we just animated this most extravagant sequence every 3 episodes. Like it's a whole thing.
I would hope, and maybe I'm wrong, but I'll find out eventually. Maybe that the movie is more hand animated than this. But the thing that happened is that the problem is the more that they hand animate the songs, the times when they do cut to the CG figures, they look even worse compared to everything else.
Yeah. There are some shows in this vein that just cut the crap. They just 3D animate all of the musical sequences, and I can respect the choice because that is so much money you are dropping every time you show a shot of 2D.
Just make the show 3D at that point. Like Land of the Lustrous exists, you can do it.
Yeah, I think there are some more recent ones that are just going along that route. I think Sally Amaki's show. I don't know if y'all follow Sally Amaki. I don't know if she even has a show yet, but some other newer project along this line. Every piece of media from it is just 3D because. Why even force us to go through that suffering of seeing the transition?
Yeah, no, for sure. So unsurprisingly, I felt like my takes pretty much line up exactly with yours, Em. Like, just literally identical. We expected the same thing and then thought the same thing afterwards because we are the same person sometimes. I was not... Like, the first few episodes I was getting through and I was like, this is fine, I guess. And then by the end, when they had their, like, brief falling out that you knew everything would be fine, but they were still kind of annoyed at each other, I was like, oh no, they have to get back together. This won't do. And obviously they did, and it was very... I didn't expect to be so, like, emotionally invested in the relationships by the end of the show.
Yes, and the thing that we were told when other people found out we were doing this is that season 1 is the bad season, so I can't even imagine that being true.
Well, I can see how that is true, because the weakest parts of the show are the parts where there are 3 episodes in a row that are, like, identical, because they have to convince everyone to join the band, because before they join the band, they are ideologically opposed to the band on various reasons, which is, of course, like, overcome by bringing everyone into one group. All anime is one anime, but it's a trick that I like a lot. So it's fine. And the parts that are better are when they're just hanging out and it's a comedy show. I assume you just get way more of that next time.
I mean, but there's an entire episode about how adorable Hanayo is, where she is scared to approach anyone, and it's actually the best
Okay,
one. Because she can't come in the group because she's too scared, and it melted my whole heart.
I mean, yes, that is the best one, but then there's 2 more of those episodes.
Yes, that's true.
I think my advanced idols take is that they're just wrestling. And the thing about it is, with all of these cheap gimmicks, like someone just being really shy and afraid to talk to everyone, I know it's cheap, but it's still, I go wild for it. Because it works.
Well, so there's the gimmick where, this is the one that is scared of everyone, and I will always fall for that one.
Me too.
Cheap Pops getting it. But then there's the one that is just like sexually assaulting everyone for laughs, and that's the one I'm not into. This is the nuclear go home heat.
Yeah.
X-Pac heat for Nozomi.
Because, right, I don't understand what any of these words mean. Roman Reigns, what are you doing? The thing is that Nozomi shouldn't suck, because her actual thing is being the one that is behind the scenes fixing everything, but the way she does that is by grabbing everyone's tits.
Also, she's like the fucking goth girlfriend who's reading tarot cards and works as a shrine maiden, and she should be great, except yes, her whole thing is that she's going to grab everyone to make them like bend to her will. Which is played just as like she is like giving them noogies or whatever, but that's not what that is. Show that's not what that is.
It's real bad.
Let's go down the girls and give them their one-line gimmicks, just so everyone who, in case you haven't watched, like knows the deal. Like there is main girl Hanukkah, who is like ditzy. That's
Naruto.
She is the Goku of this show. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, she is a Goku. As her best friend,
the heart and soul.
As her best friend Umi, who is like controlling and like a perfectionist.
Umi, second best girl.
This might be correct. I really like
that's
Umi.
That's a hot take. To me.
I saw people don't like Umi apparently in the show, specifically in the show compared to her game form or whatever. I don't know. Umi's fine. I forget their names. What are their? What is Is it Katori? Is the next one?
Yes.
Yes.
Katori is her. She's supposed to be like the even ditzier friend, but actually she's just like quietly competent and getting stuff done.
Yeah. She doesn't have as much of a gimmick because she becomes like the source of most of the drama in the back half of the season. Like has actual motivations and stuff in lieu of gimmicks.
Well, she's the one who like cares about everyone.
Yes.
In a way that like Honoka does not, because Honoka is impervious to understanding people.
Goku.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're all second-year students. That is important.
There's all second-year students. Then there are the first years, who is Maki, who is rich but like cares about everyone but secretly because they're really aloof and won't ever admit it.
Yes, also like her family owns a hospital and expect her to become a doctor or whatever, and she just plays music and is generally distant.
What was I forget everyone's names? What is the sad girl, the shy girl's name?
There's Hanayo.
Hanayo.
She is shy. She wants to be an idol but can't even talk to people.
I love her.
She's the one who hides behind her glasses until she decides to be an idol, and then she gets contacts, which she should have kept the glasses. It was much cuter.
It was a good look.
Actively mad about the lack of glasses.
Yes, I understand it's easier to perform in context. I get it, but she should have kept the glasses.
Considering
also,
everyone... Oh, you go. What are you going to say?
Her gimmick in the back half of the season is being the idol club, second only to... Sorry. Someone else we're going to talk about. The second most into idols person in the entire show.
Idol nerd.
Yes.
Then there is Rin, who is the final first year.
Rin is the tomboy who never wanted to do this, but now is really into it. Now that she's convinced.
Her gimmick
because,
also is a literal cat.
Yeah. Yeah, they just draw her with the cat mouth the whole time.
Yes. Hanayo won't join the idol group unless Rin comes with her, and then Rin gets dragged in and is great. I like Rin.
Her gimmick is MC Hammer, like parachute pants.
I guess that's true. I wouldn't call that her gimmick, but it is her look.
It is her look. She had them like in all the athletic scenes, and I was like, man, commit, because she makes it work.
Yep.
And
the first years we have, or sorry, third years. Yes, we have Nozomi, who is the vice president of the student council, who we mentioned. She is into reading cards. She is the one who names the group, which is Muse, and guides everything from behind the scenes. You have Ellie. Yep. Ellie is the student council president. She was a Russian ballerina when she was a child. She doesn't want to join the idol club or even let it exist because the school, what's like the principal or whatever, refuses to let her like unilaterally try to save the school as the council president. And she's like, if I can't save the school, no one can save the school. And also she doesn't think that the idols are good enough at dancing to like rate next to everyone else.
Yep. And then there's Nico.
But she is like the most responsible person. Also, she just like says the one Russian word that any Japanese person would know over and over again. Harsha.
Surely does. She does that every 5 seconds, and I'm like, man, okay, sure.
Yes.
The Russian one.
And then we have Nico. Nico is the tiny girl who is very mysterious and wears sunglasses and sneaks around for most of the first half of this season. And then it is they find out that she is in charge of the Idol Research Club. She's the only member. Everyone else quit because she's too intense. And she sits in a room full of Idol DVDs and obsesses over idols. And is the one who starts to instruct them on how to do this, like for real, when they join up. She is all about the presentational, like she's the one who like lives the gimmick 24/7. If we're continuing with our wrestling booking.
Yep.
So another way to phrase Nico's gimmick is that she's the greatest idol in the universe. In her own words.
I guess so. I guess so.
Is that a wrestling thing? It's the greatest wrestling.
No, it's just.
Okay. I can't tell anymore.
She describes herself as like the #1 idol and the greatest idol in the universe, and everyone else is trash, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. No.
To be fair, Nico maybe has one of my favorite scenes in this entire series, where they're shooting the video of like everyone just hanging out, like their behind the scenes thing, and she comes in her like Nico ni idol persona, and they're like, no, this is supposed to be candid, and she's like, oh, candid, I've prepped for this, and then turns into like this demure Japanese schoolgirl thing that she has never done before, but has entirely prepared at a second's notice.
It's art. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, God, her like
I'm not usually like this.
yeah, having prepared the entire like, I'm usually just a regular schoolgirl. I being an idol is an honor and it's just something I do. And then like the camera cuts and everyone has left the room. Oh, it's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Also worth noting, while she claims to be the anime girl who can't cook, she is in fact a good cook.
I was watching
more
her
on
cook.
that later.
Oh, because I was watching her cook and she serves everyone food. And I'm like, are we gonna get the scene? Is the scene about to happen? And everyone just eats the food. And I was like, woohoo, victory!
Yeah, because at first she's like, oh no, I have a cook. I don't know how to cook. And then she makes a delicious curry for everyone.
I mean, that was clearly a lie. I never bought that she didn't.
Yo.
She had a cook. She spent that entire episode being like, I'm rich too, guys. I'm a third year. I'm rich. I have a boat. Everyone. And everyone ignores her.
Yes, they do.
But yeah, no, I had a surprisingly good time with the whole season. I think the back half was better than the first half.
I would agree.
Once like the group was established and the like conflicts could play out and it built to the ending, I basically pretty much, apart from Nozomi's like my big problems with the like cast are I don't like Nozomi's horniness, and I was not prepared for how uncomfortable Nico's design is in moments.
In what way?
I have had the least exposure to like Lolita type stuff, right, in character design in anime, and like I know it's a trope, I know it's a thing, and everyone's just kind of numb to it, but I was just not ready. Like, she's just a child, and she looks like a child in ways that are like very obviously false, so that just, you know, I just don't like it. Even though I like her character a lot, I think she's fun.
She's just a tiny girl.
I think.
Oh, you go.
I. This is just me, but I am willing to lend it a little bit of. I give it a little leeway because I can see that just being a high school girl who happens to be physically small. But maybe that's wrong.
Oh, sure, but for me, it's more that like. The designs in this show are like, everyone is only separated by eye color, hair, and tit size. Those are the only physical differences a girl can have. And so suddenly you have one that has exactly the same face, but they've kind of squished the body. It just breaks the design of the show in a lot of ways, because they haven't actually given anyone like things like silhouettes.
They all have identically rosy knees at all times.
And, like, I assume this is partially because the show was made for a budget of like sixpence, and like, you know, you just copy and paste things as much as you can, because you can't draw that much. You don't have enough time. But also the way everyone just looks the same, and then one of them took off their glasses. I was like, come on.
Yeah. The thing that, in addition to this, is like, having come off of K-On!, this show leans into like, we need to make sure this show appeals to like the men who are going to buy anime figures. So sometimes it just like has everyone act in ways that are clearly meant for that audience. Mm-hmm. And while it's not like outright gross fan service, aside from Nozomi's whole thing, it's obviously fan service sometimes, yes, for the sake of it. And when that happens, I roll my eyes and I'm like, man, I wish the show was not that. Sometimes, like what I want is K-On!, I guess, at all times. Unsurprisingly.
Yeah, no, we all do. You know. But like this, like there's basically zero men in the entire universe of Love Live.
Oh, it's really good.
Which is good and refreshing.
You know,
it's the thing you always want from these shows. You don't want them to like get into that ever. What was I going to say? And my thing was like, who, as someone who basically knows nothing other than Twitter, who are idols actually for? What is the audience of this stuff?
Everyone, right?
Yeah.
Well, yes, explicitly everyone. I can be a little real with you and say the content of an idol audience might, by volume, lean towards men.
Yeah, that's my question, because like the way the show works, by basically not having any men in it, but talking about idols as a concept constantly, as this like validating aspirational thing that these girls want to be, essentially sells idols as a thing like that is removed from the like any, you know, completely sanded down of any kind of like awkwardness or to the context of what that like means, which is like obviously what you do for a show like this. But then they talk about this stuff in like detail, so it was just kind of strange that side of things.
Well, yeah, if there were men in the show, then the girls would have boyfriends, and then everyone would send these voice actors as death threats like they do actual idols when they have boyfriends.
Like, because the stuff I liked about it was the way it got into portraying like idols as this like the labor behind being something like that, right? The work that goes in to having to have this persona all the time, to have to do all these dance moves, like that is where the like most of the content of the show is. But then they can't actually talk about any of the other stuff because like the second you touch it, the whole world burns down.
Sort of a related take is you remember in episode I think 3 when they're about to do their first concert and Umi's freaking out because the skirt on the costume is really short. And she says, "Oh, I'll just go perform in my school uniform then," which has an identically short skirt.
Yep.
Yes. No, it was baffling because honestly, I think those costumes might be a little longer than the school uniforms are.
Yeah. And so the thing is, like, they try to show this drama of people like not being ready to be an idol or like being aspirational to be an idol. But from the first second they show up in the show, they're already in idol mode already. They're already like in this space. So the show just like by design can't really sell that very well. It works a lot better once everyone already is an idol and is like dealing with baggage about being an idol or is, I don't know, like being mad at each other because they don't think they're good enough idols or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I guess, but like I also like the way that the show essentially settled on like they're not that good. This is like, which is again.
So I went the other way where I looked at like the little clips of Arise we see, and I'm like, oh, Arise suck too.
But that's what they do. They basically say that this entire school idols thing is people playing at something, and that's
like
fine.
They're decent. They're decent, but it's not that serious. They're here to have fun.
Yeah, like the way it settles on like this is just a thing people do and this is fun, rather than we have to like surpass everyone to become the best, otherwise it's not real. Because that's like the critique that like two characters over the course of the show present them and order them to stop doing things forever under like that, like with that argument. And the show eventually settles on it being like, it's fine. You just like to sing and dance together. It's fun. It's good. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I mean, I assume season 2 is them competing in the Love Live, so I don't know how much that's going to hold together.
I'm sure they'll win it and it'll be amazing. But look, we haven't seen season 2 of K, and I'm sure they'll actually put out more than one song in 2 years at some point, and we'll be grumpy about that. Like, it's the same thing.
Why would you ever put out a song after Fula Fula Time? It's the greatest song ever. No one's met a better one.
Eventually, they have to be cool enough to produce "Don't Say Lazy." So,
which they are not at the start of that show or the end of it.
Yes. No.
Don't Say Lazy whips.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a good segue to talk about the songs.
So you were really down on them. I instead downloaded the game and have played like 15 hours of it. So I'm like all in on some of these songs at least being all right.
I'm not really down on them. I think they're okay. I think they're very variable.
Yeah.
I think some are much better than others.
The biggest banger of the entire show is in the second season.
I assume that's Snow Halation, the one that everyone knows.
Yeah.
But I don't dislike the songs here. They're good.
Yeah.
They're all right.
Yeah, I'm not anti the songs. They're fine.
Yep.
I think...
the worst one is, unfortunately, to me, probably the one they do when they all are at the Maid Cafe. I don't like that song very much.
The one with the worst production?
Yes.
That's the one that Kotori has to write about being a maid.
Yes.
About all the good
By the way,
things.
Kotori works at a maid cafe?
Yeah, also she's the legendary maid of Akiba, because of course she is, because of course.
Yeah. I mean, how else are they going to afford all those costumes?
Yeah, I know.
Also, they settle into explaining like halfway through the season that the school's closing because of birth rates, and that makes sense. But they go to the nicest school on Earth.
Yep.
It has an archery range. It has like a full studio grade soundboard in the auditorium. It has 2 alpacas.
It doesn't have an archery range.
Yes, it does.
I was interpreting that as like her family's archery stuff. Was that at school?
No, she is part of arch. She does archery at school.
What the fuck?
Yes.
What's up with the llamas or the alpacas?
But then they go to the Arise school, and that is like literally the My Hero Academia giant like skyscraper school also. So
giant billboards animated on the outside of it, where your school idol group is doing clips.
I can't tell with anime where the parody of I mean, I'm not saying that this is like what school is, but I can't tell what's meant to be read as a parody in anime of like ridiculous education and what's meant to just be earnestly, here's what our school is, right? Because there is no difference between the shows that have exaggerated educational portrayals in order to like make a point and make jokes about like what schools are, and the shows that aren't that and just have ridiculous schools anyway because that's what anime is. Like, there's no functional difference between this and like Assassination Classroom on some level.
Well, the principal here is not evil.
No, but like the big school that Arise go to is the same school as Assassination Classroom.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. They don't seem like they're like Arise don't seem like they're evil. Like we see them at the very end being amazed at how cool Muse are. Like I bet they're also nice girls.
I'm sure they are, but I don't mean it's got this like the stuff going on inside.
Yeah.
But it's still ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So I just can't tell like what is up with the way this, because it's obviously like deliberate in some shows. Like I've seen the beginning of Kill la Kill. Like there are entire shows that are about how ridiculous the stuff is. But then in the shows that aren't about that, there's still the student council that controls everything.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine that is true of any actual schools.
Oh, someone's getting arrested.
Yeah,
right
we've
now.
been watching Love Live.
Oh yeah. Big windows here.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. No, they're coming for you. They're arresting you for best girl opinions.
I also greatly appreciate everyone's sisters in this show. There's a good supporting cast here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Honoka's younger sister is just a cartoon. She is hilarious every time they barge in on her doing something weird.
Yep.
Ellie's sister Alyssa does not know what Japanese things are because she lived in Russia, so she just keeps that scene where she just keeps bringing them soups. It's really funny. She's so cute.
She comes up to them, she hands her soup, and she basically goes, "This is not a drink. Buy me a drink."
And then she brings them another soup.
It's great.
You know.
I don't know if y'all caught it, but the director lady, rather. Is Kotori's mother.
Yeah, I did catch that. I was like, wait, was that meant to be a surprise? Hang on.
No, she mentioned it in the first episode because they're like, "Did you ask your mom about this?" And she's like, "Yeah, she couldn't tell me anything."
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, y'all just mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
But
and they have the same hair. Also.
Yes, also they have the exact same haircut.
Kotori's mom's is a little bit darker because she's mature and professional.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the thing I actually liked about this is that almost the entire Honoka, Kotori, Maki, and Ellie all have parents who went to this school. Like it's about this like generational thing. Like everyone had parents who went here, and like I want the ridiculous like Naruto flashback of everyone's parents also being an idol group at some point in like the 80s. We're never gonna get that, but boy, do I want it.
Oh, what was the 80s idol group? They're not gonna write like 80s idol songs.
No, but I wish they would.
This was definitely missing the gang finds Sawako's old photo album.
Yes.
The metal band.
Yes.
Oh man. Yeah. I know that every 5 seconds we say it's not as good as K-On, but it's not.
It's fine. I know that you were less into the songs because you generally are not as into like this kind of bubblegummy Japanese pop music the way I grew up on this kind of music in like the late 90s, so I'm all here for it. I think most of this stuff is pretty decent. I've been playing it a lot. Put actual money into this goddamn video game based on this anime.
I'm not that down on the songs. I think the songs are fine. I think they vary a lot. I think they don't all have like good hooks. I just don't think like I'm fine with the production of stuff. I'm fine with like ridiculous bubblegum songs. I just wish some of the choruses were a bit catchier.
Yeah,
is really all it is.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like the Love Live project is not going to be producing actual #1 hits. Like,
yeah,
this is the problem with having a show about musicians is you can't actually like. It's hard to just actually make a really fantastic song.
I mean, like Snow Halation is the song in season 2 that everyone loves, and it's a banger. It is a song that people love for a reason. Like they did it. They made it a great song.
I know.
It's not like out of the realm of possibility. I like that. the song that plays at the start and the end of the show, the ridiculous one with the horns, because I like a good horn.
Yeah, I've always said that.
Okay.
And I mean, with respect to this, they hired a bunch of voice actors and told them, okay, now you have to become singers and dancers too. That's what this project is. Sorry.
I mean, I assume that's known in anime circles, right? Like that is a
it's a thing.
That's a thing. Like basically, I've seen a lot of shows have the cast also perform a bunch of songs, because that's like the job, right? Like, yeah, this is to an extreme of that, but it's not an uncommon thing with anime and how it's produced.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, everyone kind of accepts it in that spirit of it's not going to be all-time greatest hits. It's going to be pretty good songs, pretty good dancing.
It is pretty funny when these like very clearly like written by a team of people produced songs are introduced to the show by being overheard as Maki just playing them to herself on a piano as things she wrote. That is always funny. Anytime there's like a show about like pop songs, about a pop band that write their own songs, they always introduce the person singing them. It's usually on acoustic guitar or piano, and it just sounds like the fakest thing on earth. It's incredible.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, as someone who likes like movies like Step Up, there is always the girl who like is classically trained at piano but really wants to make real music that people listen to.
And it just sounds like
bangers on a piano.
And it's always like, I want to tell the real stories, and it's just the full chords, and she's like dun 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 dun. It's always good. Yeah, no, this has that as well. And then Haneka's face with her ridiculous applause.
Yeah, this is a show of good faces. It's just characters all the time bringing the emotion for us. I faulted for this cheap pop. Yeah.
I wish they went further with some of the physical comedy, because I think it's good, right? Like, there are less gags in this show than I would have expected, because I thought it was like funnier, and it's pretty funny, but it ends up being more just kind of there's more drama than I expected and less comedy, I guess.
Yeah, like the comedy bits I think are good. There's that bit with Nico. There's Nico stealing everyone's fries and burgers in like episode like 5.
But that episode begins with her like. Oh, so she's like in her disguise mode with her sunglasses, but then Hanukkah sees her and kind of like sneaks up to the wall, but announcing sneak, 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 sneak. And then she gets knocked over, and there's like a 10-second shot of Nico's fist coming out and then flicking one finger at her head.
You know,
and then the next scene, she has a Band-Aid on her forehead.
Also, she is like eavesdropping on them in the McDonald's, like in a giant like high fashion hat that this little boy sees and goes, "It's a poop, Mom."
The poop is running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff's great. The pillow fight in the beach episode is really good.
Yes.
I thought that was great. Her Hanukkah just eating cookies after everyone decides to turn off the lights and go to bed. Very good.
Every time a show like this has a beach episode and it isn't that gross, a bunch of acne just falls off my face. I just gained 3 years on my life.
Yeah, she doesn't really grab anyone's tits in that episode. It's all the other episodes.
No, it's nice and chill.
She actually has some nice like warm moments with Maki in that one.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that is really funny about that beach episode is Nico, in aligning with her personality, wears the swimsuit of a 7-year-old to the beach. Like her weird frilly top is like a thing a child would wear.
Yep. Sure is.
Yo.
I mean, according to her gimmick, she's trying to be this exaggerated image of cuteness.
Yep.
And
no, I understand.
In the OVA,
it's a little hard to watch sometimes.
She is mad in the OVA when an actual child shows up.
You know?
Which I thought was really funny. She's like, "That's just not allowed. That's cheating."
Yeah, we also watched the OVA for this, which is 15 minutes. It's like a weird little, like, funny, almost like, not quite a ghost story, but it definitely plays in that trope a little bit, and then it does the song from the beginning of the video game.
Yep.
I haven't caught the OVA, actually. Y'all want to catch me up?
It's just everyone's in a dream. Like it starts with Maki in a dream, and then she wakes up and she's telling Hanayo, sorry, about the dream, and then it turns out they're all actually in the dream, where there's like a young child Maki running around, and everyone is kind of weird about it, and then it like literally cuts to them singing the song that's at the front of the video game. It is like a short, like 8-minute animation, and then a full like 6-minute music video, and that's it.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is very clearly hey, you bought the DVD. Here's what you want. Then we spent a little bit more money on this stuff.
Yeah, there's a really cute scene, because like the music video is like about this endless party, and it's kind of sleepover themed in like the cutaways, and there's this really cute scene where Umi does her hair up like Nozomi, and they just like have pigtails together, and it's adorable.
Yeah, that's good. That is good stuff.
Yeah.
Some of the best stuff in the show for me is when the girls like just really like each other and love each other for being on their own bullshit. Like, I think it's the scene where Nico finally joins the gang is the one where she like goes into her club room, expecting to be alone, and then everyone just treats her like the leader of. Everyone calls her like Mrs. President and stuff. That is my shit. When everyone's just like, "Yes, we love you, Nico. Come be with us."
Yeah, I mean that's the thing this show does. Is like everyone. There is a conflict, but then it is solved by everyone just being so nice to each other and friends that wins everything. And it's like, it's the most kind of wrote by the numbers anime plotting, but it like is earnest enough about that. That's fine. I like it when everyone's friends. It's good. I'm not above this.
Yeah.
And then like I really like the final couple of episodes, because every single one of these shows has a dramatic twist in the final couple of episodes. And it can vary, right? Because this slice of life show I watched way back, Katura-san or whatever. I don't know how well known that is, but it's the one like a reference point I have. Like that one is a killer shows up.
What?
What?
So in that one, like a serial killer attacker shows up, and then you have the other end of the spectrum, which is K-On!, where Yui gets a cold. These are equally dramatic twists in the shows.
Or Honoko dies.
Which this one also is Yui gets a cold, but slightly more dramatic, and someone's leaving.
Yeah, the Honoka collapsing from being sick is actually like way before, like it's enough before the end that I don't count it as the end dramatic. It is all about Katori leaving.
Yeah. Katori leaving, and I liked how that ended up resolving, because the way it worked out was that no one can talk to each other apparently.
Yes,
and then Umi had to like bring Hanako had quit, so no one was being idols anymore except Nico, Rin.
In the first years, I think.
No, Maki wasn't doing it. I think it was just the two.
Yeah.
Which I like that Rin is still one of them.
Yes.
Best friend.
I mean, Rin and Hanayo were like actually like being idols. They are the least affected by any drama of the characters in this show.
Yeah, they're having a good time.
Yeah.
And then like Umi's monologue to Hanako is really good, being like, she likes her foreign transfer and everything, but she's not going to stay unless you tell her to stay. She wants you to tell her that. No one knows how to communicate. Go tell her you want her and she will stay. And so you get the very traditional her running to the airport to stop her while the music plays, and it's very good and it's very sweet. And then they all come back and perform one last song.
Yeah, I think in terms of form, it's really nice that Honoka collapsing, they don't actually get to go to a Love Live. That is not the actual climax of the season. That's something that happens.
I really expected because I was watching this on Verve, and the final episode it's like called Music Start or whatever, and the little preview image was the song that they perform in the opening video, and so I assumed that song was what they performed at the Love Live at the end of this show, and I'm really glad that's not how it went.
Yeah,
no,
I also assumed that was going to be like it would get to that part of the show, like the pre-title sequence of the final episode would cut into the title sequence, which would be them do it right. It'd write itself.
Yes.
But luckily it wasn't that. I don't know. I really liked it being a kind of smaller thing. I'm sure they will then go and win the Love Live next year and be the greatest idols of all time. But I like the smallness of the ending.
Yeah, y'all know what time it is for season 2. But for this, competitively it didn't work out, but like the whole rest of the show, the real point was that we're friends and we like being idols together, and it's so sweet.
Yep. I looked up the plot of the movie, so I'm really excited to watch that movie.
I don't know. I'm excited to watch it. I do want to keep going at some kind of pace. We'll see. 13 episode season is nice and short.
Yeah, so I guess we should best girl, and if you want to continue watching this, do you think you're going to, Jackson? You said you wanted to.
Yeah, I want to. Okay. I don't know. I don't know when I like. There are a lot of things I want to watch, so I might end up slipping, but I would like to.
Best girl, Jackson.
I don't know. I don't have a good answer for this. Like, I don't have like a character. It's like, yes, this is the character I love the most. I like most of them. I really like Umi. I really like. I guess it would have to be Umi by default, but I like Honoka as well, and I like the really shy one. I can never know her name. Hayano.
Yeah, Hanoyo.
But I also like Maki because I really liked Maki's episode on the beach, which is like I can't let everyone know I'm friends with them. But that stuff was good. But yeah, I basically like all of them. I don't really have any like real standout characters that I really love, but I guess by default I would go Umi.
Okay. Andy, who is your best girl? I know you've seen all this.
So I'll start out by saying that after the rewatch, I really like Nozomi a lot less. I was willing to give it a lot more leeway on my first watch, and now rewatching it was just painful. I think it's mostly episode 7, but yeah, it's generally bad when this happens.
I'll
be willing to say that Nozomi is my number 9. And for number 1, I'm a Nico mark. Like, all of that stuff, just her being on her bullshit all the time, never breaking character. It's great. I love it. I just eat that stuff up.
I watched this with my partner, and we already agreed that we're going to watch season 2. I'm really excited for it. I will probably also watch Sunshine because half of that game is characters I don't know, and so I just skip those chapters because I'm like, I don't know any of you yet. I need to watch the show before I can enjoy it.
Those are like a chorus, right? Is their band?
Yes, yeah, it's like vaguely nautical themed. It looks like they live in the country, maybe. I don't know. It sounds fun.
They live in a house.
They live in the middle of nowhere. They live in the middle of nowhere by a beach. So
cool.
Yeah. And all the gimmicks are way more ridiculous.
Does one of the rich people have like a really big house in the city then? What's going on here?
No. Are y'all okay with mild spoilers?
I mean, you can tell us like gimmick stuff, but the light stuff would be best.
Okay. One of the characters is the director and is way richer than even Maki. Like, ridiculously rich. Comically rich.
Maki's already like anime rich, so I don't know how like. All right, sure, whatever, sure, anime.
And if I had to pick a best girl, it's Maki, absolutely hands down. I love her aloofness, big mood. Ellie is probably a very close second.
Ellie's great.
I just like the responsible characters who are not here for all of this teenage bullshit. That's who I was as a kid. That's who I am as an adult. Yep. Secretly wishing that you were as carefree as your carefree friends, but never presenting as such.
Never. Couldn't be me. You know? Maki just watching everyone like run around in the pillow fight like couldn't be me. Could not be me.
You know. But also Umi just actually not waking up until someone accidentally wakes her up is really good.
I was watching that pillow fight going, why haven't they like started animating this with like big whooshy like pillow effects? I was waiting for them to like bring the shonen animation as part of the gag, and it took them a while, but then Umi woke up and it really kicked off.
Yep.
Just...
It did the like horror anime shaky cam and then the full on shonen pillow launching. It's really good.
And then people just getting knocked out and then like just not getting up.
You
know. Good show.
Yeah.
Well, that is...
Yeah, I had a way better time with this than I expected to.
Same.
This was good. It reminded me that anime can be good even if I don't like the look of a lot of modern anime. It can still be fun to watch and enjoy.
Yeah, and I think this show wasn't ever trying to be capital G good. It is not an all-time classic. It is not Utena, but it's a hell of a lot of fun. Like the whole show is fun.
Yeah, it is. It's good. I had a good time. So I guess that is Love Live.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for listening. If you would like to make us watch an anime, you're allowed to. That is one of our Patreon tiers at patreon.com/abnormalmapping.
Yeah, if you want to hear us talk about not cute girls and just the most serious war shit every week, you can pledge $1 a month to get the Great Gundam Project, which is me and Jackson going deep, like episode by episode, 2 a week on Mobile Suit Gundam. We are currently watching Double Zeta.
Yes, we are.
Which, sometimes not that different than Love Live, this early Double Zeta
basically
stuff.
the same show. We want to talk about some anime comedy.
God.
Yeah, we're recording that after this. Andy, where are you on the internet? Do you want to plug? Do you have anything to plug? Feel free.
No, I'm not going to blow up my spot like that.
Okay. In secret, in the shadows, Andy is there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've released this as a free episode, so
nice.
If people want to listen to more anime podcasts, it is at patreon.com/abnormalmapping, like we said. But that's it. We're done. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for listening.
Thanks.
Thank you, Andy, for joining us.
Had fun being thrown in the booth by y'all.
Yeah. All right, goodbye. I don't have an outro. Everyone leave. Let's go. We're leaving. Goodbye.
I mean, there's a pop song playing over this right now, so...
I'm sure there is.
Cue snow halation.
Nope.
Editors, cue snow halation right here.
We didn't. We don't.
No, it'll be the ending of the show. We use the opening and the endings. This is how the podcast works.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to find a dance remix of Forever Amaro.